Hey, well, it's Huck. And I really have to apologize. I realize that it's been a pretty long time since I've posted a video. Um, 3 weeks or more. And I'm sorry about that. My health hasn't been, well, what I'd like it to be. And frankly, I've just been really short of breath lately. And, not up to really, making videos or much anything else, I'm afraid. But I thought, it's way beyond time that I posted a video. Now, one of the reasons why I've been maybe not at my best last few weeks, for some reason, my dog has just been infested with fleas for weeks now. And it's not a problem that I've ever really had to deal with her in the past. I have tried several different things, and I've had to resort to, using some sprays and some stuff around the house. I went out and bought a rug shampooer, carpet cleaner. Got a pretty good deal on a fairly good one. I think I paid about $100 for it though at Walmart. But I had to do it. My bedroom floor needed it desperately anyway. But with all of these fleas that my dog has been bringing in, I've been giving her a flea bath almost every day, which is not good for her, and it's definitely not been good for me. So I think the fact that I've been using all these chemicals, it's the last thing I need in my condition, and it hasn't really helped my dog at all either. So finally today, I got to see my vet, and the veterinarian gave her some kind of an oral pill, which we brought home, and I gave her with some food, and that's supposed to work for about 30 days. I don't know, she's scratching like crazy right now, but I just gave it to her a few hours ago, so I think it's going to probably take a little while for this to work. At any rate, like I say, I've been very short of breath. I've been, I don't know, congested a little bit or something. And this on top of a few other things I've had to been dealing with. I bit down accidentally on a fork. I was eating salad about a month ago. And, shortly after I think I posted my last video, I accidentally bit down on this fork, and I did some damage to the, chomping down on that fork. I felt a searing pain, deep in the root of this tooth here in the front on the bottom. And a couple of days later, I finally, because I couldn't clench my teeth, I couldn't bite down, I couldn't eat anything. I finally went into the dentist. He gave me an antibiotic because he said that there was an infection there. Wanted to pull that tooth because he said I've lost so much bone there. And I'm afraid that's a result of all of the prednisone I've been taking for some time, And at any rate, I never did get the tooth taken out. And I probably should. In fact, I probably should have all my teeth taken out. I've only got about 16 or 17 teeth left, about 8 or 9 on top and bottom and each, and there's at least 2 or 3 that should go. But removing this one tooth would have just, I'm sorry, I don't want to make any disparaging remarks about, stereotypical Trump voters. But the truth is, I didn't want to be, I just don't want to be embarrassed every time I open my mouth. And frankly, I can't afford to have the dentures. I did look into it. It's going to cost me something like $1,700 just to have the front teeth, the top teeth, extracted. I assume same number of teeth or so, be approximately the same for the bottom teeth. So you're talking around $3,500, $3,600, somewhere around there, top and bottom. And that doesn't include the dentures themselves, which, as I understand it, they give you some kind of temporary dentures or something a week or two after you had them pull, and it takes about 6 months or more before you actually get the real, permanent dentures or whatever. I'm not a candidate for, nor could I afford the outrageous price they charge for implants. But at any rate, so I'm guessing, a full set of dentures for me probably cost me in the neighborhood of, I don't know, $4,000 to $5,000. I'm guessing. The point is, I'm just now starting to get to the point where I can see the light at the end of the tunnel on many of the things I'm trying to pay down and pay off. I'm down to only, I've got 3 credit cards I'm still paying on. They're all, one will be paid off probably by, I don't know, one will be probably paid off by March. The other 2 probably longer. But I'm still making good progress on all 3. The big other 2 things are, I have up on the shelf my mom's ashes and my dad's ashes. And they wanted to be buried. My mom wanted to be buried separately from my dad. I know you can get a discount if you put them both in the same, cemetery plot. But my mom really insisted that she would, for not that to happen that way. She remained married to my dad to the day he died. But she was very disappointed, disillusioned, no longer in love with my dad because of his, his alcoholism and the amount of pain and suffering that she endured as a result of that. So at any rate, I have looked. The price keeps going up. To get them each a cemetery plot, I wanted to get myself one beside them while I was at it. The 3 plots alone would be $2,100. I think they're $700 a piece now. I should have got them some time ago when my mom first passed away in 2013. They were still only $400. Now they're $700. And I guess the cost of burial itself is about another $300 each for them. So to put both of them to rest, we're talking about, approximately $2,000. So I've been slowly saving towards that. And I'm slowly, but at any rate, like I said, these are the priorities that I've got. But I've been, now the good news is I've paid off, I only owe $75 on one ambulance bill. The other 2 ambulance bills are completely paid off. I started off with, I can't tell you how many times I've been in the hospital. I have paid all my hospital bills off except for one. I'm down to, I think I only owe about $500. I think it's $500 I owe on one hospital bill. So I have been making great progress on all of that, and all because of the help I've been getting. So not only am I able to pay all my bills and go to the doctors and get all the testing done that I've needed, and be able to keep up with all my medicine and my oxygen supplies. And, but I have paid off almost all my medical bills at this point, and been able to pay, I don't just pay my minimum on my credit cards. I pay, as much as I can, spare to, that's why I say I think if you added up all my credit cards all together, I don't know what it would be, but it'd probably be less than $5,000 if you added it all together. And, a lot of that was, for things like car repairs and well, $1,500 of it is, was for this car I have now, but and other things that would come up when I just didn't have the money. And, a portion of it, I guess, was that trip I took some time ago. But at any rate, this is a year ago, I owed about $7,500 on this credit card. So I've paid about $2,500 just in the last year, just on my credit cards. I mean, paid them down and not added anything more to them. And like I say, so I have been very, very fortunate because without the help I've been getting, I couldn't pay any of it. I mean, that would be impossible. So that's what's been happening here with old Huck. Sorry I'm not able to talk real well. I'm not in any pain, sitting here talking. So that's good. I wanted to get a video out because it's been so long. And, I'd actually filmed another video. It was about 26 minutes long. And I was actually uploading it. Now, this was about a week ago. And I ended up taking it down. I ended up canceling the upload. Simply because I wasn't happy with it. I wasn't in very good condition the day I was trying to. But I always feel obligated that I should make a video, and I feel I feel awful when I'm not posting more regularly. Which brings us to the whole Trump impeachment business, and boy, not a day goes by that it just doesn't confirm the fact that we have got a Russian asset working in the White House, and probably the most corrupt and ignorant individual ever to occupy that particular office. I watched the debate, or at least most of it, this past week, and I think Elizabeth Warren is going to have to probably open up a little bit more about what she plans to do with her, with her health care plan. Everybody is attacking her because she's not been, let's face it, she's not been as forthright as she could be as far as how that's going to be paid for. And part of it is probably that I don't think that she wants to settle on any one particular way to pay for it. I mean, a lot of people just assume that if we ever get a Medicare for all type healthcare, national healthcare plan, that everybody's taxes is going to go way up, and that's not necessarily the only way to pay for it. There are other, for instance, you could slash, the defense budget in half, and that would largely pay for it. You could, do what many other countries have done, which is have kind of a value-added type sales tax. to help pay for it. So at any rate, I think she is hedging her bets by not, being held to, just one possible way. I think she's open to debate on, a myriad of potential ways to pay for it. So at any rate, there's that. But whatever the case, I think she's going to have to probably reveal a little bit more of those options and how she feels about it. It's interesting that 3 of the 4 of the Congress women known as the Squad, 3 of them, including Alexandria Ortega-Cortez, have endorsed Bernie Sanders, as has Michael Moore now today. So, Bernie hasn't been taking the world by storm here in his campaign, and his poll numbers have been, relatively steady. His the amount of money that he's been collecting has held, up pretty well. Certainly far outpassing some of the other contenders. I'll tell you the truth. The person who I think is whose time may be limited, could be, is Biden. What's keeping Biden afloat at this hour, I think, is the fact that he still enjoys significant support among people of color. And if Bernie if any of the other candidates can significantly tap into that, I think it changes the race. But frankly, I think the damage has largely been done to Biden's campaign on a number of fronts. One, he's had to kind of defend some of the things that he helped push through as a senator, and that are no longer popular. There are things that clearly he's not as adept at, as quick to the draw as he used to be. He gets a little confused or befuddled, and I think he's given to making a few irrational comments once in a while. He's always had a reputation for speaking little abruptly, but clearly he is showing his age at times. And one of the things we've noticed in the debates here so far is that, even when he comes on strong early in the debates, by later in the debates, he's basically hanging on for dear life, mentally. And so, at any rate, I'm not saying that that's going to, that that's not something he can't overcome, but clearly he doesn't do too well in a 2-hour format like some of these debates have been. The other thing that I think has hurt him, unfortunately, is his whole business with Trump. I mean, Trump has tried to attack him really on a completely false charge, but it has managed to do its damage nonetheless. And the fact is, his son Hunter was involved in some work over in the Ukraine, being I don't know what is a board member or something of a oil and gas company or something over there, that a lot of people were getting rich quick doing that, and he saw his opening for that. There's seems to be absolutely no evidence whatsoever that Vice President Biden, Joe Biden, had much to do with that one way or the other, and certainly didn't do anything to hinder any investigation or anything that would have been underway, or if anything, the opposite might be true. But nevertheless, Hunter Biden was probably profiting, off the Biden name, in an area of the world where, you could get away with that kind of thing. And it looks like Joe Biden is probably going to pay at least a part of the price for that. And, there are other candidates in this field that are not as easily, tainted with such controversies. And I think we'll have to see. A couple of the candidates I think that probably deserve a little bit more attention than they're getting thus far are Amy Klobuchar and Castro. I think both of them have been, up until this last debate, kind of just treading water and not able to make much inroads. I think they both, like Buttigieg, tried to come out a little bit more aggressive. We'll have to see if any of that really paid off. But for those people that are looking for more of a moderate and less of a, very, very progressive individual, I would put Klobuchar and Buttigieg and, and to a lesser extent maybe Castro and Kamala Harris, kind of all in that slightly more moderate, more establishment Democrat kind of category. And right now, I think if Biden, if somebody can pick off, Biden's support, it could be among that list of candidates. Somebody who just can't seem to make any inroads at all is Cory Booker. And but at any rate, I have my own reasons for liking and, maybe there are certain things about each of the candidates basically that I like. And there are certain things about each of the candidates that I'm, let's just say, less enthusiastic about. The one candidate that I really don't have any interest in to speak of is Tulsi Gabbard. At least of the ones that were on stage here. I'm also not a big fan of Andrew Yang. But I think it's interesting that he's, got a chance to be in the mix and present his arguments. So at any rate, that's how I'm thinking about all of this. Sorry it's taken me so long to get a video up, and I promise you I will try to get something up, weekly if possible, if I can, from this point on. But I just kind of wanted to throw this all out there, let you know what's been going on. And would love to hear how you feel, about any of this. There's There's so much more to say about what's going on with the with Trump and this whole impeachment thing, but like I say, not a day goes by that the news for him really doesn't just get worse. I'm still not convinced that the Senate under McConnell is going to do anything. But my gosh, they have got to be, even McConnell, even the, they have got to be looking at what's going on in Syria. They've got to be looking at some of the just outrageous stuff that he's doing, like trying to award, the G7 summit now at his Doral Golf Resort. Openly admitting that they are basically doing just egregious well, at any rate, we'll have to see where this is going. That's it for now. I will see you again real soon.